Grace and peace, everybody. What is going on? Welcome back to Faceovermatter. It is your girl Jay here, and in today's video I wanted to do an updated makeup routine and foundation routine. And as I'm getting up here in age, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about skin and how I'm viewing makeup this time around, and just my go-to products. Like, this is like an all-in-one video for me because I just want to do something updated for makeup and makeup only. If you guys watch any of my other videos, I do a lot of vlogs here lately, and so I wanted to kind of switch it up and just do more makeup stuff because I don't want to lose out on my makeup, my love for makeup. And I've really been enjoying my makeup here lately within the last several weeks, and I haven't been doing it too different, but I've been doing it differently, and because of that I want to get into it. I feel like I need to mention, this is what I do my makeup out of. This is the, I'll put the name up here. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll link it down below, but it's from Amazon. And this is what I do my makeup out of plus travel with. And I don't know if I've ever showed you guys, but I do my Gel X nails at home, and I keep all of my nail kits in the bigger version of this. So I'll link the both of them if you are interested, but it's a really good makeup case. Mine is a little funky and crazy right now. This is not a good depiction of what it looks like, but there are sectionals in here. Like, this one is out of place. I should have done this one over. But there are sectionals in here that you can use that can kind of compartmentalize all of your products. So whether that's like your bronzers, your foundation, your concealers, you can like section everything off to make it really nice and neat. So with that being said, if you are not already subscribed, I ask that you go ahead and do so, become part of the family, catch up with my daily vlogs, weekly vlogs, all the things, and let's get right into this makeup video. So as of right now, my skin has not been doing the best. I was talking about in a previous vlog how right now my skin is just not doing well. And being on a health journey, I think it's so funny how you can be really strict on like your meal plans and things like that, and you really see that pay off. I'm not gonna lie, it's not that I've gotten back into bad habits, but I have started to drink stuff that has a little more sugar in it. There was, I mean, up until maybe last month, it was just nothing but water with an occasional Celsius drink here and there, some coffee here and there, something like that, but everything else was strictly water. Here lately, within like the last couple of weeks, I'm not gonna lie, I've still been getting my water in, but I've been getting my water in with a sweet tea. With, what else did I have? I had some lemonade. So I'll throw in some sugary drinks here and there, and I'm not happy about it because my skin is really paying for it. But again, this whole health thing is definitely a journey because I'm really seeing what is affecting my body. I really think sugar is the culprit here, okay? I really think sugar is the thing that is not doing me well. So, which I already knew, didn't have to do all this to know that, but I really know now. So I deal with a lot of back acne. My back is terrible right now. I was explaining that in my last vlog as well. And I feel like I'm getting more frequent breakouts in areas that I never really break out. Like, my forehead is one of those areas that just does not, it's just, it watches the rest of my face like, getting bumped up. You know, my chin gets it the worst, I think, more than any other part of my face. But I'm rambling. So let's get right into this makeup. I just want to talk a little bit about skin. If you guys want a skincare dedicated routine video, I can do that for you guys as well. Just let me know. If not, I'll mention it in a vlog or something. I don't know. But going in with the first product, this is the e.l.f. primer. You guys know I love this e.l.f. primer. It is a good dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip. Nothing will replace the Hydro Grip, but I'm not gonna hold you. This has been my jam. I actually like the pink version of this, which has the niacinamide in it. I do like that one a little bit better because it's a little tackier than this one, but this is the original and this one's just as good. So I do 3 squirts to each side of the face. And I already did my skincare. Like I said, if you guys want a dedicated skincare video, just let me know and I will work on that for you. And also a little brow tip. I like to take a lot of my primer into my brows because this just kind of sets my brows and gives them like a, I guess like a laminated look. You can go as far as even brushing the primer in them. I usually don't, but I guess for this I could. But you see, like, the primer just kind of sets into the hairs and it just sets them. So by the time I get to brows, I know what I need to fill in because I do my brows last now, and then I let that primer kind of sit and get tacky and do its thing before I apply anything else. Also, I just recently got this little mirror from CVS. It's like it's an LED light, so I know you can see the little light on my face, but it's like a little LED light and it's super cute, and I feel like this would be really good for traveling. I don't want to talk you guys' head off through this whole process, but listen, hear me out. I want to kind of explain where I'm at with makeup. And while I do that, you know, we'll just talk through it. I'm getting ready to turn 26 next month, and I'm really, really excited. But with getting older, I'm noticing my skin is a little different. I'm noticing my face is starting to settle in certain areas that I never really noticed before. You might can't tell now, but there is an indentation right here. It was very faint, but now with certain ways that I do my face, or I know it's very, very, very noticeable as soon as I wake up in the morning, and I think just because my face is super puffy during that time. But there is a line right here, y'all. So stuff is starting to be noticeable with my face as I'm getting older and things like that. I truly believe that the skincare routine that I have now is the best that I've ever had, because I'm using products that I know has all the things that I need for my face. Because growing up, I used to wash my face with Dove body wash soap, the bar soap, and I used to put Jergens on my face for my moisturizer, and that was it. And then had the nerve to cake makeup on my face, and this was like high school. Had the nerve to cake makeup all over my face for what? So I think now my face is really getting everything that it really needs in terms of whether I'm using a toner, the correct serums, the moisturizers, the SPF, all of those things really make a big difference. So I'm really happy with where I am now with my face routine. So again, even when it comes down to makeup, I know I'm using. So saying all that to say, I really feel like where I'm at now with my makeup, it really looks good because I'm taking more care of my skin and more time to love on my skin. And honestly, I don't wear makeup like that. If I'm wearing makeup, it's because I'm filming for a video, or I'm going to church, or I'm going to dinner, or some other event, and that's it. Every day to day, which if you watch my vlogs day to day, I ain't got no makeup on. So I like to kind of underpaint, I guess you can say. And I feel like underpainting is very, very trendy right now, but I really like it. And honestly, it's the best that my face has looked. So I'm gonna continue to do it this way until there's something else, I guess, that does better, but I don't see me changing it. So this is the Maybelline New York Fit Me Concealer. Oh, I took it all the way back, okay? This concealer is so good, and it really just speaks to where I am right now with my makeup, because it's not super heavy, it's not crazy full coverage, and the way I use it is like this. I got this new tripod, and I'm trying to make sure you guys are, I'm trying to make sure everything is what it needs to be. Okay, also I got a new lens, so let me see if I can zoom y'all in a little bit. Okay, I'm in my dining room right now, so things might be a little, not the best lighting, but anyway. So I'm gonna take a brush now, and this is a Japonesque brush. I've been getting these joints from CVS, and I love this brush so much. Please do not mind my dirty brushes. I completely forgot to clean my brushes before this video, but anyway, I'm using the color 55 Hazelnut, which if I'm honest, I should use something a little less red, because this is very, very, very red, so I can adjust this a little bit, but I don't mind it because it kind of gives me like a tan look. To each their own. There is another one, hold on. So this is the other one. This is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the color Baked. And this one's really good too. So honestly, and this one's honestly the correct color. So I could have just went in with this, and this is a little more cool tone. I don't wear eyeshadow, so this is my eyeshadow. And I like to do all of this before anything else. And make sure you get that color into the hairline as well. Also, honorable mention, this moisturizer right here, if you're looking for a good moisturizer before your makeup, this one is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Cream. Really, really good, 10 out of 10. I don't use it all the time, but sometimes when I need like that extra moisturization, especially during this hotter weather, I throw that on and it works really, really good. Okay, now going in with the concealer. I'm gonna go in with Praline first, and I'm just going right. So luckily I don't have a lot of dark spots, but if you can see, and I keep saying it as I get older, but legit, as I'm getting older, my beauty marks are getting darker and I'm getting more of them, and I'm obsessed. So I don't wanna cover them up too much. So I focus most of the concealer on the areas where I know I want that brightness, that coverage. Honestly, it's gonna get covered up a little bit, so I'm not trying to avoid my moles altogether, but I am trying to make sure that they get their time to shine as they deserve. And then Ginger is the lighter shade, and Ginger I like to kind of put more so here in this inner part, because even with lighter makeup or, you know, not as heavy makeup, I still like that highlighted brightening effect towards the inner part. Usually I do this with a sponge, but if I'm honest, the last time I did this, sponge like messed up my concealer. So I'm like traumatized right now with the sponge. I still use a sponge, but I'm just not gonna do it for concealer right now. So I'm just gonna take this brush, and it's like a buffing, dense brush. And this is just gonna allow me to keep that color on and be able to pack on for the coverage. And I'm telling you, I don't know what NARS does when it comes to their concealers, their foundations, but NARS is legit one of my favorite makeup brands to this day. NARS just gets it. I will say I've had a lot of trouble trying to find a good foundation match from NARS, but honestly, I can't find a shade in anybody, honestly. The closest one has been Black Opal. This one from NARS, which is the light reflecting one, but I'm not a fan of how this sits on my skin, so I don't use this one too often. The Laura Mercier foundation in 4W1 Suntan. This has been like my ride or die right now when I wanna wear foundation. The Dior foundation is really good. Now this one is neutral 3.5, but the color is off just a little bit for me, especially with trying to have a tan, just tan up my skin a little bit. So I do want to revisit this in another shade, but I do like this foundation. I think this foundation is beautiful and it's Dior, so like this is nice. But I'm gonna wait to tell y'all my absolute favorite foundation because that's what we're gonna use today, hint hint. I've talked about this foundation so much. Okay, so if you've noticed, the bulk of the makeup we've added has been here. I haven't really added a lot here. So next up, we're gonna be using some blush. This is my Rare Beauty blush, and fight me on it. It's a really good blush. And I'm gonna do good today and only use one pump or one dot, because usually I add several dots and it's too much. So this is the Mario Duo brush. It's the F1 Duo brush. This bigger side, amazing for liquid blush. When I tell you, I bought this brush when I bought the foundation from Mario. At least the color match didn't. It's a great foundation, but just the color match wasn't there for me, which is nothing new. Again, I run into this issue with just about every brand. And I'm hearing a lot about the contour stick. I wanna try one of the contour sticks. So whenever I can get back to a Sephora, I'm going to try it out. I hear a lot of good things about the other products from Mario, so I definitely want to try them out. So I have been trying to get into like this whole blush situation just to kind of keep the face a little fresh. I'm gonna have to go back in and do some major blending, but that's kind of how I do the blush. And then I go back in with my concealer brush and just kind of blend the two colors in. That way it's a nice blend. Now, obviously, if you need to go back in with a little bit of concealer, do as you need. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of the Praline shade. And this, I'm just gonna kind of throw it in right towards the bottom. That's why I like doing it this way, because if you kind of mess up with the blush, you can always go back in with a little bit of foundation or concealer, whatever you want to use. Every time I do my makeup like this, I get crazy amounts of compliments just from random people. I mean, even the other day when I went out, I had stopped by Starbucks before I headed down to my dad's for Mother's Day. I mean, the girl at Starbucks, she stopped me and she was like, "Your makeup is so pretty." And I was just like, "Thank you." And in my mind, I'm like, yes, see. That's what I'm talking about. And it just looks good in person because the skin just looks hydrated. It looks just nourished. So now off to my favorite part of my makeup. This right here is probably one of the best foundations. Is it gonna focus? I'm still trying to work on this lens. This lens is a little funny. It's on autofocus, so I don't know why it's not focusing. Hold on, let me help it out. Oh goodness, is it not focusing for real? Okay, this is it. This is the L'Oreal Paris Hyaluronic Serum. And I don't use a lot of this, so I'm literally just gonna take it from the nozzle and just kind of rub it on. I'm taking a risk here because I'm sitting on my little white dining room chair. Actually, that's too much. I don't need a lot. I don't use a lot of this. This joint will last me forever. So now let me grab my sponge. And I actually added a little too much foundation. I could use a lot less, but I digress. And this is just gonna help cover the lower part of my face because I do have a little bit of hyperpigmentation right there just from previous breakouts. But I'm putting the bulk of the foundation here, and then the residue I'm just going to lightly dab all the way up over the blush and the contour. I'm gonna purposefully skip the concealer because I don't need to add it there. And I don't know about y'all, but this combo right here, just my skin looks like, I just cannot express enough how good this looks. It just looks so good and fresh and just, oh my goodness. I just love my routine right now. So if I'm really feeling, you know, if I'm really going out somewhere, I probably would add a little bit more of concealer under my eyes just to kind of really brighten up some stuff, but I'm not going to because I want to keep this as clean and as natural and as normal as I usually do it. So this is how I do it. So now I'm going to take the Laura Mercier setting powder. This is just the regular translucent. I thought I grabbed the honey one, but usually I use the translucent, and I take quite a bit because I go right up under the eye to set everything. The other day I was going with like a very thin layer and then my concealer ended up creasing. So I'm gonna make sure I set it really, really good. And instead of baking, I just go in and let that joint, like I tap it in until it's gone. And honestly, it just looks blurred. Like I love this powder so much. And the One Size powder, my top 2 right now. And honestly, I could be okay the rest of my life doing my makeup with those 2 powders. These 2 powders do exactly what I needed to do without, I don't know, it just does what it needs to do. And I love using the translucent one because, I don't know, I feel like sometimes the colored powders, at least for me, it just kind of changes the color of stuff. So I like using translucent because whatever I'm putting on my face, I want it to look the same. So don't worry, we're not gonna lose our dewiness, okay? Even though we are looking more mattified. This is my thing. I go in a little heavy with the powder. I'm an oily girl when it comes to my skin. So I go in a little heavy with the powder just because throughout the day, it's just gonna look even better because the makeup is gonna set, my skin, my natural oils are gonna start coming through. And just this tinted serum, it just looks too good. I don't know. That's why anytime I go into CVS or something, I'm just like, I just wanna buy all of the ones that are in my shade because that's the one foundation I don't want to ever go out of business. Like there are so many foundations out there, but I continue to rave about this one because it's that good. It is that good, okay? Going into my next product, I'm gonna be using the Haus Labs blush. Now hear me out, I know I'm using 2 different color blushes, not a certain preference. I mean, for a particular reason, it's just because I love the Rare Beauty blush and I love this powdered blush. The only thing is, I know Rare Beauty comes in other shades. I'm not the biggest fan of those colors, but this one I'm obsessed with, and then this pink color I'm obsessed with. So this is kind of like my blush combo. We have a peach and a really bright pink. And I mean, it's legit, super bright pink. So I go in with the liquid blush, and then after powder, I tap off the excess and I add this towards like the apples. Peach just looks really good on my skin, our skin, but then topping it with this pink just gives me like a fresh, youthful look. Don't be afraid to go in with the pink. Next, I'm gonna be using this tinted, it's a face and body moisturizer and glow, but this is really like the star of the show that really gives me like that clean makeup look just because it just does what it needs to do, okay? So I'm gonna take my clean sponge, just take a clean side, and the trick is to really get the product inside of the sponge. Like don't take a glob of it and just leave the glob. Like you want it to be kind of blended into the sponge. So watch my face transform. So right now I'm really matte, right? Watch this. I'm just gonna lightly tap over where I want that to go. And you see, it's not like no crazy, just stark, hard highlight right there. It hits where it needs to hit. And I love this because if you take a light hand, it's not gonna pick up any makeup. It's kind of like putting a moisturizer on top of your makeup, which is the craziest thing. But again, blending it right into that sponge and just lightly tapping, you know, just putting it where you wish. I just kind of go in like that little C shape like that on the perimeter of the face. I hit the nose and the bridge, and then I finish off with the chin and the little cupid's bow area. I gotta be mindful with this area because the other day I did this and I was talking to the camera and I was like, why I look like my nose running? And I said, ooh, I put too much highlight right there, which I just did it again. So to fix that, I'm gonna take taking my brush that I had my setting powder with, and I'm gonna just dust over it a little bit. It's just gonna get rid of that. See? So you still get the highlight, but it's not looking like your nose is running or something crazy. So what's crazy is you guys know how I always used to throw that highlighter in the inner corner of my eye. I don't even do that anymore. I just don't. No particular reason. I just feel like I've been doing my makeup the same for so long. I just never thought to change it. But I've really been enjoying not doing that because, again, I want my makeup to look as fresh and clean and as to my actual face as possible. So now I'm taking my Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil, which is the same pencil I keep on using, keep on using. I like to do my brows last because although I don't have like I have a shape, like there's a shape, but I just want to fill it in and make it look more natural. So for me, I like to see what I'm working with so that way I know exactly what to fill in. So that way I'm not filling in the entire brow. I'm only filling in what's a little sparse, and that's just gonna keep it looking as natural and as, yeah, just as natural as possible. And then I just kind of brush the hairs up. So for that, like that's a super like good natural brow for me. It's not doing too much. Compared to this one that's a little sparse, you can kind of see, you just see like this one's a little more clean. That's this, it's no concealer, it's none of that. It's literally steady hand, just kind of filling in what needs a little extra love. And I like to go across the bottom because this really gives it a shape. And then towards my brows is where they get a little sparse, so that's what I like to fill in. And I love this Goof Proof brow pencil because the little end piece is pretty thick, so it kind of just helps draw stuff on a little quicker. Okay, some things never change. So I'm using my Duo Lash Glue and I'm putting that in the front hairs of my brow because it's just gonna keep them in place all day. I mean, I already have that primer in them. The primer is not gonna hold it like this will. So I just kind of dust a little bit of that in there, and that's really it for the brows. Okay, so next up we're gonna go in with some mascara. This is the Superhero Mascara from IT Cosmetics, my absolute favorite mascara. Shout out to IT Cosmetics. This mascara is amazing. I have super crazy long lashes, so I really try to wiggle it in at the root, just that way they can get or give that effect that they're a little thicker. I mean, my lashes, hold on, my lashes ain't that little, but they're not super long either. But and I'll do it side by side so y'all can see. And I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottom, just towards the outer corner, and that just kind of gives the effect that your eyes are just more open. So do y'all see the difference? Like, are you kidding me? That looks so good. This mascara is amazing. But the trick is to get it at the root. So I spend a little time at the root and then just kind of wiggle my way on up until I like what I see. And just a little bit on the outer corner. And that is the mascara. Okay, so since we're here, I am gonna take my highlighter that I love to use, and I'm gonna hit right at, I don't have a crazy arch, but I'm gonna just hit right at the arch of my brow. And this is just gonna continue to give me like that nice dewy look. So far the skin is just looking super dewy and nice. We haven't even added setting spray or anything. I'll go in, kind of wipe my lips off to get them nice and prepped. And you can also take this a step further, and if you want to bring back, because I know like my little moles that I was talking about are pretty much covered, like you can see them a little bit, but if you want to bring them back, obviously you could use like an eyebrow pencil, or I usually use like my lip liner and just kind of dab over those areas just to kind of mimic those are your actual moles, but they are enhanced a little bit just because they are covered up by the makeup. Let's see. So like this, for example, this is the Precisely My Brow Pencil. It's a little small. So if you wanted to, you can always take a little brow pencil and just ever so lightly, just kind of draw your moles back on. I call them beauty marks, I call them moles, whatever it is, do as you wish. And I'm gonna leave it at that because it's very faint. I'm gonna leave it at that, it's very faint. I'm gonna go in with my setting spray just so this can be setting the face as I do my lips. So this is the Milk Makeup Hydro Gripping Primer. Y'all, we getting ready to get a storm. Because I feel like I'm losing a little bit of lighting. So now I'm gonna take my Mented Lip Pencil in Night. Just hit you with a nice, clean, natural line. And I've really been fighting with myself to not draw over my Cupid's bow, because like I will kind of add like a little line right in the middle. And I love that shape because I feel like it makes my lips look. But I'm really just trying to enhance what I have. My lips don't naturally do that, so I'm just lining what's there. So then here, I'm just gonna go in, take my finger, and just kind of blend it out. Sometimes I've had a tendency of leaving like a sharp lip liner line on my lips. I don't know why. Maybe laziness, I don't know. Just kind of diffuse it a little bit. You see how diffused it looks now? So now taking my absolute favorite gloss. I don't know if you can tell, but this joint is well loved. I have tons of random bottles around, like just laying around the house, because this is literally my favorite gloss, but I'm not gonna add a lot. Just like a nice sweep, and that's it. And you guys, that is my updated makeup routine. I just love how fresh and just It just looks so good. I'm gonna actually pick you guys up here in a minute. This is not my vlog camera, but I just feel like my face looks so fresh, so clean, so just, but this is the face. And I just think that my face looks so good and just super clean. It just looks very clean, very nice. I really should have set up right here, y'all. I'm actually really upset with myself. But anyway, it looks really natural and just like my skin, of course, with just some enhancements. And I don't know, I love it. I think it looks really good. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm really loving that highlighter, that Hue Glow, that Live Tinted. That joint is so beautiful. And the idea of putting a moisturizer on top of your foundation, I don't know, I just like that concept. So dabbing that on top of my foundation, it just looks so good to me. So yeah, I don't know, let me know what you guys think down below. I'll link everything. Just disclaimer, those links will be affiliate links. So basically what that means is if you click the links and purchase from that links, it helps me get paid to continue to make videos for y'all. But anyway, it's up to you if you want to use it. I love it so much. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys like the makeup. Let me know what you think. So as always, if you're new, I'm Jay. If you're not new, I thank you so much for supporting me with whatever I do here with my channel. I love each and every one of you to no end. And of course, until next time, God willing, I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.